Alright, let's look at production of charges, or we could say methods of charging a body. Now, when we have a neutral body and we have a charged body, and I've explained earlier under the concept of conservation of charges that charges are not created, rather they are what? They are transferred from a charged body to an uncharged body. So now when we have a charged body and want to charge, or we want a neutral body. When we say neutral body, it's just a body that is not charged, that's an uncharged body, and want it to be charged. How do we charge that particular neutral body? Now we have three methods there. The first method, we have charging the body by friction. By friction. The second method, we have charging the body by contact, and the third method is what? By induction. So let's quickly just look at basic things you have to know in case of multiple choice question or physics 102 exam. Now, by friction, basically by friction is just when we have a material that is charged, or let's just say we have two material that is uncharged. Friction is used for when we have two material that is uncharged, and you rub this material you rub the surface of one material against the surface of the other material. So what happens there is that there will be transfer of charges. You know, even when you say something is a neutral body, we still have charges there. But when we say it's a neutral body, that is, it has equal positive charge and negative charge. That's just why it is a neutral body. When we say something is a neutral body, doesn't mean it does not have charge. That is, it might have 5 positive charges and have 5 negative charges, and that will be cancelling, each other, and that's why we say it's a neutral body. Hence, it will not be charged. But when we are talking of this charges, methods of charging by friction, it's just a way to rub the surface of a particular material that is not charged, that is a neutral body, rub it against the surface of another material, after which, when you rub it, there will be a transfer of equal charges between the bodies. Then what happens after that is that the two bodies will produce different opposite charges. One body will be positive and one body will be negative. Let's say, for example, we have something of glass rod. When we rub glass rod against silk, after rubbing by friction, this glass rod will acquire something of positive charge, and this silk will acquire negative charge. That's just the concept. Let's say another example there. Let's say we rub 4 against ebonite rod. Ebonite rod there. Now, what happens here is that the 4 will acquire a positive charge, while the ebonite rod will acquire a negative charge. These are the common ones we should, note for example. Now, by contact. Now, you have to know that by friction is used to make either conductor or insulator. Whether either conductor or insulator, it's used to make them a charged body. It's either you make a conductor a charged body or an insulator a charged body. So that's just for friction. We can use friction to make either conductor or insulator a charged body. But when we are talking of by contact is only used to make conductor a charged body. So we can have a neutral conductor. So how do we make it a charged body? We can use by contact. By contact is just, under the concept of by contact, it's just like when we have a charged body like this. When we have a charged body, let's say this charged body have positive charge, and you bring another body near it. This is, a neutral body. So when you bring them in contact, like you bring them from the word by contact, you bring them closer. What happens next is that there will be a transfer of charges. These same charges, you know that friction by friction produces, charges of different kinds. But by contact, we produce charges of the same sign, because it will just be when you bring a conductor that is charged and you bring another conductor that is not charged, that is a neutral conductor, near that conductor, there will just be a transfer of charges from this man here to this man. So if perhaps we have, let's say we have another charge here, let's say we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 charges. After bringing a charge body, a neutral body, in contact or near this charge body, then we will result to this particular body there having 3 charges. So the magnitude will be 3, and this other one too will be charged, because there will be transfer of charges from this one to this one. So the charges will be divided. There will be equal charges. Hence, both of them will have the same magnitude. That's just the concept there. And this one too will be what? Plus, plus, plus. And that's. So we can now see that it's 3 and 3 now. So at first it is 6. This one is 0. This is neutral. Then after you have 3 and 3. Now the last one, then that's just the concept of charging by contact. And it's only used for conductor through the process called conduction. Transfer of charges through the conductor. Now the last one is by induction. By induction is just simply saying the method of charging a neutral body by bringing a charged conductor near the charged body without contact between the two conductors. For this one here, there is actually a contact here, but for this by induction there is no contact, and by induction it's just like there will be a transfer of charges from a charged body to a body that is neutral, and the process is just using the concept of electricity. So that's just the concept there. Now that's all about it. Now there's something to note, that by friction it produces charge of different kind, and by induction it also produces charge of different kind, but by contact it's just a transfer of charges, the same charge, so it will produce charge of the same kind. And that's all about the methods of charging a body.